Now, the government's most shocking cover-up.
What is that? What you doing?
Life on Mars, extraterrestrial, and human.
What you see here is an underground Martian subway. Is it possible they've already been there but haven't told us?
Investigators Bill Ryan and Kerry Cassidy uncover evidence of a top-secret Mars program that's been hidden for decades.
Phase 1 began early 1960s.
A space program based on ET technology.
They had an original seat from a UFO.
Men who claim they've been to Mars and back.
Why is it essential that I go? And he said, because the survival of the human race depends on it.
Eyewitness testimony.
And then we see the speeding shoot up through the clouds, up into space.
And dangerous confrontations. Everything you know is wrong. What you think is real is not. What you've been told are lies.
There's been a coup on planet Earth.
And it is our job to reveal it.
There's only one team whistleblowers can trust with the truth. Bill Ryan, Kerry Cassidy, Shadow Operations, The Mars Project.
Look at that. Right. Now, focus on the ridge.
Yes?
And sweep across slowly to the right.
We were in a remote part of the Utah desert. My partner, Kerry Cassidy, and me, Bill Ryan. Every step in our investigation had led us here, out in the middle of nowhere. If our sources were correct, we were closing in on a military installation, a hidden base for a top-secret government space program, one that's been sending people to Mars.
Let's go closer.
But we'll get closer to that on the road.
We knew we had to proceed cautiously. We did not want to be seen. But it was too late. Suddenly, they blocked the road. Security guards with guns. This wasn't good. Not good at all.
Hey, leave the camera alone. Hey, the camera's wrong.
A secret Mars space program. A military base on the Red Planet. A mysterious syndicate concealing extraterrestrial contact. Kerry Cassidy and I had been hearing rumors about a Mars cover-up for years. We've tried to find its purpose and who was behind it. But in all our years as investigators, we've never found anything close to a smoking gun. Not until we got a call from a man named Gordon Novell.
What did he say?
He said he'd been given some photographs. He wanted to show them to us.
Did he say what all?
No. But he doesn't want to meet at his house. He wants to meet at an empty lot. So obviously he wants to avoid surveillance.
Gordon Novell would know to take precautions. He's worked in government intelligence for decades.
Here he is. Hey.
Gordon Novell is said to be part of a secret group known as the Aviary. Insiders with high security clearance who share information on UFOs and ET contact. He wants this information out there, and he knows a lot of powerful forces want to keep it hidden.
I got something I want to show you. This is convincing evidence that there has been life on Mars.
Wait a minute here.
These are NASA photos, the best stuff that I've seen to date.
We'd both seen intriguing photos of the surface of Mars before, but nothing like this. These photos had much better resolution than anything NASA had released publicly. The images clearly showed things on the surface, things we could not explain.
These are pretty authentic looking. So where'd you get these?
They came from my friends at Langley.
Langley, Virginia, headquarters of the CIA.
What do you know about this thing, Gordon?
It could be air transfer tubes. Is it being used to move water, or is people walking through it? What is that? What's it doing there? It's certainly not natural. That's metal. And it's on Mars, and this has been a real eye-opener for me, and they're developing Mars. Somebody is. Doesn't say it's an Americans, doesn't say it's ET, but I would say from the technology I'm looking at here, it don't look like it was made in the USA.
Air transfer tubes, tunnels, structures that were not natural. Novell seemed convinced that someone had established some sort of base on Mars. But how were they getting there? Novell's next photo was a clue.
Now, what is that?
It's awfully high. It's taken from a throttle. It's higher than the plane should be flying.
It's obviously some type of sophisticated flying triangle.
We'd heard talk of a mysterious fleet of triangular craft, but Novell told us they were real, and that they could be connected to a secret Mars program that's been going on for decades.
I heard that they reverse engineered it in the 60s.
You're saying reverse engineered from an ET craft,
Absolutely.
right?
What's the range and capability of these starships? Do you have any idea?
They can do anything they want. You know, if you got ET technology, it would be pretty quick and pretty fast.
If there is a secret Mars program, who's behind it? The US, China, North Korea, the Russians, or someone else? Does our government have access to ET technology? If so, why are they keeping it so secret?
The whole reason for the cover-up is economics. It's money. If you don't have to pay for fuel, then the world changes dramatically. The banks live off of oil and gas.
So they're just protecting their own interests.
It's protecting the banks, and banks run the world.
If Gordon Novell was correct, it could have huge implications for the future of the human race. This hidden technology could end world poverty. It could also put the energy corporations out of business.
So it's all about energy, and energy determines finance, and that determines the
Finance
secrecy.
determines the politics, which determines the secrecy.
We couldn't simply take his word for it. We needed to find out exactly what was happening on Mars. The first clue lay in the NASA photographs he'd given us.
Those photographs of the tubes, I mean, they look unnatural to me. But I want to go cautiously with this. I want to get a second opinion on the tubes. I want to get somebody who knows a little bit about geology more than you and me.
Right, so get a geologist to look at the photographs.
Yeah.
But are we going to tell him that they're on Mars? Are we just going to lay the photograph out and say, can you tell us what you think this is?
Yeah, we shouldn't front load him, you're quite right. And geology is geology. The rules apply whatever planet you're on. So if the things aren't natural, they must be artificial. There's no other choice.
There was no time to waste. We arranged a meeting the next day with an independent scientific expert. Ron Nix is an engineering geologist. He's been analyzing desert formations for more than 30 years.
This needs an explanation. What have we got here?
We showed him the photos. We didn't tell him they were from Mars.
What are we looking at here?
You could be looking at the desert, but in my experience, I haven't seen anything that looks quite like that. Take a look at these crescent-shaped features. Do they not have a higher reflectance in the surrounding stuff? As if they're made out of material that's not the same as this?
This feature here,
The bright spot, clearly has a much higher reflectance than anything else in that image. And you can really see it. Maybe it's an engineered structure. When I try to explain it with the principles that I'm used to, it does not look natural to me.
Mars or not, Ron Nix would know a natural formation when he saw it. He said this wasn't natural.
Well, let me ask you the question. Where did you get these prints?
we were given these prints by somebody who has significant insider connections. We're told that it's on Mars from NASA originals.
I mean,
we're not trying to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. It's fascinating, but it doesn't look natural to me.
Okay. Thank you.
So if the structures might not be natural, that meant they had to be engineered. But by whom? To answer that, We need